Center for Spiritual Awakening, and happy Easter. Resurrect your soul, wake up and behold, open your eyes and see that you are your destiny. Resurrect your soul, let your truth unfold. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Resurrect your soul. Wake up and behold. Open your eyes and see that you are your destiny. Resurrect your soul, let your truth unfold. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Okay, you know it now, sing along. Resurrect your soul, wake up and behold. Open your eyes and see that you are your destiny. Resurrect your soul, let your truth unfold. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. It is the season and the time. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Yes, and whoever you are and wherever you're from, we're glad you're here. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. Turn and say good morning to someone in the comments and let them know you're thinking about them. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, I hope you're getting that message loud and clear that your soul is welcome here, and we're glad you're here, and we want to know you. So send us a message, prayer@awakeningcarolina.org, if you have anything that we can hold in prayer with you and for you, prayer@awakeningcarolina.org, or send an email to info@awakeningcarolina.org if you want to know more about us or you have questions at all about Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. We are a beloved community, and we believe in doing our best to continually awaken to our divine potential. We have a positive, practical spirituality that we teach and that we do our best to follow, and that is under the umbrella of New Thought, and specifically for us, the Science of Mind faith tradition. So if you want to know more about it, we would sure love to tell you. I have a class coming up that will dive into it even more in just a couple of weeks called Building a Healing Consciousness. We'll use the Science of Mind textbook and a book by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life. So more on the announcements in just a moment in a video we have coming up, but just wanted to give you a heads up about that. What a rich and beautiful, beautiful life, and what a rich and beautiful day we have. Oh, we have Amy Steinberg coming up in just a little bit. Some music from Amy Steinberg, and also a reading from Kathleen Sharp. So thank you for participating in service. And but before we go any further, let's drop down into our prayerful heart, and let's remember the truth of who we are. Let's practice the presence for a moment in prayer. pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. So right here and right now, right where we are, we remember the truth that there is one power and one presence. This creative intelligence, this divine love that created us out of itself. And we allow our love to go deeper, our heart to go deeper, our soul to sink deeper into this awareness, this truth of oneness, of wholeness, of holiness. And we allow our wholeness, our holiness to bless the world. We are both blessed and a blessing. And this morning I claim a recognition of that for each of us. I claim for each of us a willing heart and an open mind to resurrect beyond the old ways of thinking and being and doing and having, and create anew our individual lives and our collective experience. To insist on bliss, to insist on joy and love and peace and harmony for ourselves and for all. I claim for us this morning at Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening that we remember to swing wide the doors of our heart, to swing wide the doors of our minds, to be open to the impressive Spirit, to show up in life as a divine representation of this infinite intelligence, this infinite love. So I speak this word of gratitude for this community, for our opportunity to come together, to sink deeper into the truth we know, that there's one power, God the good by many names. And it is blessing me now. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, feel my heart go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. And so it is.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Sharp, and I am a founding member of Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. Today's reading is from Science of the Mind, dated today, Easter Sunday, 2021. The title of the reading is Resurrection into the Light. Behold, I make all things new. Revelations chapter 21, verse 5. The resurrection is the death of the belief that we are separated from God.
There's a power in a seed, reminding itself how to become a tree. There's a power in a cell, and it's capable of making a you or a me. There's a power in a word, vibrating at a frequency. There's a power inside that power, inside that power is love, 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 love. And you can feel it revealed when an open, broken heart begins to beat. yourself how to become a tree. There's a power in a cell, and it's capable of making you or me. There's a power in a word, love, vibrating at a frequency. There's a power back of all that power, you know. All that power, you know what it is? Is love. Good morning and happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day, happy spring, happy renewal time, happy day. Oh, happy day. It is a good day indeed. I wake up on Easter morning and I can't help but be a kid. I'm looking for the Easter basket, you know. We had such a fun time as kids growing up in our family. We had Easter baskets. We had our Sunday morning Easter sunrise service, which getting up at sunrise was not my favorite on a Sunday morning as a kid. But once I got there, there was this big spread of breakfast afterwards, and we would have the Easter egg hunt, and it was just a fun day. It was an over-the-top kind of day. And so that's what I'm wanting us to look at today, is having an over-the-top kind of day, resurrecting from the old and resurrection of that Christ consciousness, a resurrection, a renewal, a rebirth into what's possible. And so as we look at the resurrection story, I think it's important to notice and to speak to for just a moment the fact that this is not just the story of Master Teacher Jesus of Nazareth. This is not just one story. The resurrection story is one that has been told throughout the ages. There was Attis and Dionysus. I have to see it in my head. Dionysus. Yes. Attis and Dionysus of Greek mythology. There was Horus, the Egyptian god of the sun, whose birthday, by the way, was December 25th. Kind of interesting. And that was over 3,000 years before Jesus. Krishna from the Hindu tradition, also over 3,000 years before Jesus, and part of Holy Trinity within the Hindu tradition. And there was Zoroaster, who was the foundational figure in the Zoroastrian religion, which is one of the oldest religions still in practice today. He also was 1,000 years before Jesus. And all of these not only had resurrection stories, they had healing ministries, they had disciples. Many, if not all of the ones I just mentioned were, the story says, born of a virgin birth, right? So it's important that we recognize that this resurrection story has been trying to teach us throughout the ages. So this is not to take away from the story of Master Teacher Jesus, but rather to amplify it. To amplify his teaching, because he says, all of this that I have done, you can do and more. He said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. He said, go and teach the gospel, the good news. Well, what is the good news? I mean, those first two things I just mentioned, pretty good news, abundant life, and that we can do the miracle workings of Jesus, the Christ. So what's the rest of the good news? The main part of the good news is that I and the Father are one. I and the Father, Mother, God are one. The good news that we are co-creative beings, co-creating our experience with the divine individually and collectively. The good news that all of life sprang forth out of itself, out of one creator. This creation sprang forth, and that includes me and that includes you. So we are made in the image and the likeness of the Most High. We are of and from God. Of and from God equals divine. Practicing our divinity, that's spreading the good news. That's teaching the gospel, teaching by example what it means to live a life where we know that we are one with the one that created us. This is some definite good news. Practicing the presence of our divinity, practicing the presence within us, practicing it. And living a life that's over the top. Insist on bliss, insist on bliss. I keep singing Amy Steinberg for weeks now. Insist on bliss, insist on bliss. Not just hope for good or hope for a little shot of goodness here and there, but insist on bliss. We came here to live a life of joy and peace and love and happiness. There's a reading in the Science of Mind magazine that said, how much more time do you want to waste bemoaning your situation instead of experiencing the heaven on earth you came here to experience? We did not come here to suffer, but to express joy, peace, and love. Feel that. Breathe that in with me. Affirm that with me. I came here to express joy, peace, and love. I came here to express joy, peace, and love. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? Are you bemoaning or are you blooming? That's the question we get to ask ourselves. Of course, we have feelings. Of course, we have things we want to feel before we can move to the next level of being. Not saying to repress it, more on that later. But we want to bloom. One of my favorite quotes is by Ramakrishna. When the flower blooms, the bees come uninvited. When we bloom in our lives, the bees of our good come. The job, the relationship, the house, the car, the whatever the outer effects are that are prosperous and healthy and good and fun and harmonious and happy, loving relationships, fulfilling purpose, all those things. They are side effects. They are the bees that come when we bloom, when we allow ourselves to resurrect, to rise up, to be renewed and reborn and revitalized. Right? Instead of recreating an old pattern or recreating an old idea of lack and an old idea of separation, recreating the negative ideas that have been passed down in our culture or our families maybe, but instead rising above, awakening to the truth, or as we say at Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, awakening to our divine potential. As I express divinity, as I express my divinity, life rushes to me. As the flower blooms, the bees come uninvited. Life rushes to meet us. Life meeting life, God meeting God. As we awaken to this, one step at a time. One step at a time. I'm just full of Amy Steinberg this morning. If you are new to her music, please look her up. She is wonderful. And the other song that I told her keeps running through my head a lot is One Step. And it's change the situation by changing your mind and know you are divine. Practicing the presence of God in you, of the goddess in you. We know that God is bigger than any pronoun. So practicing the presence of the divine in you, as you, expressing through you, practicing that presence. And some people think that I mean a mental thought of practicing the presence. Actually, we do talk about changing our thinking and changing our lives, but as we change our thinking, that's only just the beginning. That's just scratching the surface, changing our thinking and choosing to program our thoughts in a positive direction is very important. We love our affirmations, right? It's very important to say those affirmations in the first person, in the present tense, claiming something you wish to be so as if it were already done. That's very important. But that's just scratching the surface, because after we do that, that takes us into, we take ourselves into, with our spiritual practices of Science of Mind, we take ourselves through this process we call treatment, which is affirmative prayer. And the affirmation step is only one piece of it. We actually start with recognizing what I already talked about, that everything came from this one source, which is God, by whatever name we give it, and that includes us, so we're one with it. When we are in that knowing, then we're practicing the presence. We're practicing feeling that indwelling presence within us. And as we make it a practice through our prayer and our meditation and our thoughts and our actions every day, we start to change. There starts to be a change within us. I used to have such an anger issue, and people that know me now find that so hard to believe. People that knew me then find this hard to believe. But I did. When I was in my early 20s, I was angry. So angry. I guess maybe in high school a little bit too, but really in my early 20s, I was just angry. And it's so nice to say that when you live a life practicing the presence, you're not repressing that anger, you're transcending that anger. I'll give you an example. Here I was at the beach with my Angie's side of the family, my family on that side. Love them so much. And I was in charge of Neo and Eli. And we were in the parking lot at the beach at Fisherman's Pier. And we had some of the family parked on this side and some of the family parked on this side. and the boys were helping me move stuff from one car to the other. It's a lazy kind of day. There's not really a lot of people at all, and I can see the road, right? It's a ways away, so they're safe. And someone gets in their car and starts to move, and I say, can you hold on just a minute? I want to make sure that the boys are with their grandma. And they were. They had stepped aside with Nana. And so I said, okay, you're good to go. And they were like, okay, have a good day. Well, meanwhile, there was a red truck entering the parking lot that saw this interaction of me asking the car to hold on, me checking the boys, right? And then I told the boys and Angie's mom, hold on one second, another truck's coming. So the other truck comes through, and I didn't think anything of it. They went on down to park at the other end of the parking lot, and the boys and I resumed our carrying stuff back and forth. And then in just a second, I forgot one thing, and I turned to get it, and the red truck had now decided to come through the parking lot. So I see it coming, and I'm walking toward the boys, and before I know it, the guy in the back seat of the truck is yelling out the window. Almost every word was profanity. He's yelling first at the kids, calling them little bleep idiots. They're 3 and 4, okay? My heart walking around with legs outside my body, these little boys, and he's yelling at these little boys. And then he turns to yell at me and tell me what a bleep idiot I am, and what a bleep parent I am, and what a bleep, 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 bleep. I'd be censoring a lot if I said all the words he said. And it wasn't just the words, it was the energy behind it. He was red-faced, and his veins were popping, and he was flipping me off, and he's shaking his arms, and he's talking like this, and it was just ugly. It was attacking. I felt attacked. I felt like Mama Bear, like I got to protect these babies, right? And just for a split second, I remember that TV show, The Hulk? Not just the cartoon characters in the movies, but I'm talking about the TV show from way back. I grew up watching that show, and all of a sudden I felt that remembrance of that feeling from my early 20s of what the Hulk was doing inside when it was ready to bust out of the clothes, go rip the guy out of the back of the truck and say, what are you talking about? Talking to my boys that way? Have you lost your mind? And, whatever, I'll take you on, man. That was the early 20s me. I know it's hard to believe. Thank God that's not me anymore. But I felt just that weird feeling of how do I react to this? But then before I even could even just think about whether or not to let the Hulk out, the Hulk wasn't there. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it was a profound moment for me because I realized that there was something that would normally bubble up in the old me, and it wasn't there. I wasn't happy, and I was going to protect these babies, but I didn't have the urge to bleep, bleep, bleep right back to him and go fight this man, right? Which the older, younger, crazier me would have done. Instead, I just took a deep breath and I felt this peace. And I just looked at him and I said, wow, that was an option for a conversation. You really could have chose a different one that's a little nicer. And then I turned to the boys and I said, some people choose to be really mean, but we can still be kind. And they were like, yeah, let's go to the beach. And off we went. And the guy's still flipping me off and still screaming. And then, they're on about their day, but it didn't change mine. And I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. I'm sharing this because it was an amazing awareness of, after years and years and years of literally making it my top priority every single day, to remember the truth of my divinity, that I'm of and from and made in the image and likeness of God. And I can express to that degree, to the degree I let it. After years and years of practicing the presence practiced me and moved through me in such a way that it took hold and control. And it felt so good. It's important that we not repress, so I'm not talking about that. I didn't repress anything. I took a deep breath and I allowed it to come through in other ways. And actually, after they left and after the boys were at the beach, it made me cry because emotion has to come out somewhere. It has to come out. Otherwise, we repress it. So I was shell-shocked for a minute after the fact. I felt my peace, took care of the boys, whatever, dude. And then I had a moment of feeling a different feeling and feeling like that there was still energy that had been cast upon me. And it made me cry. It made me sad for this state of the world that can allow people to express that way, right? That people allow themselves to express that way. And I let those tears out. And Angie said, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just needed to cry. So I wanted to point that out too, because it's not just about, oh, I'm spiritual, I don't get angry. I still get angry sometimes. And I was angry, but in a different way, if that makes sense. And so it's important that we not repress. I remember reading Raymond Charles Barker, wonderful New Thought teacher, and he, in a book called The Invisible You, he talks to this guy and says, when's the last time you got angry? And the guy said, I don't know, maybe 30 years. He said, well, go out and yell or cry or do something. You can't repress your feelings. So I don't want you to repress your feelings. I just want to share that we can express them in different ways. But if you are angry, frustrated, sad, just know that something's not being expressed in you. So I felt sad after that was over. Felt a little angry, but mostly sad. And I allowed the tears to come out, and then it was over. Right? So we have to allow, we have to express instead of repress. Life needs to be expressed, not repressed. So, what is your resurrection story? What are you willing to rise above? What are you willing to give birth to anew, to rebirth within yourself? But recognizing that it takes letting go of an old way of thinking, of being. In order to be peace, we have to release the other alternative. That was another option, being angry, being mean, being hostile. We have to release that go-to reaction if we want to feel peace, if we want to be peace. We have to release the idea of, oh, I don't know, I mean, that's a lot of responsibility to have a lot of money. Someone might want to take it from me, or I might not manage it well. We have to release that to embrace having a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with that. We live in a material universe. We have to release the idea that we can't trust other people if we want to have harmonious relationships. We have to release the way that someone's been in the past if we want to go a different direction in the future. And then it's up to them whether they come along or not. But we hold ourselves back if we wait for someone else to change before we do something different. What do we want to live in our lives? What is your resurrection story, your moment of moving beyond? How are you awakening to your divine potential? That's what I want you to think about. How are you, let me ask you this, are you insisting on bliss, as that beautiful Amy Steinberg song says? Insist on bliss. Insist on bliss. Are you insisting on bliss, or are you just hoping for a little good? Because there's a big difference. Too often we have the tendency to want to just get by. The just enough consciousness. Blow that out. Resurrect beyond that. Rise up out of that old and move to a new that is insisting on bliss, not just a hope of a little good, but bliss, pure joy, pure joy. Let's live in that space. Let's invite that in and release the old that stood in its way of just enough, just barely getting by. Because if we're not programming ourselves for a new tomorrow, we're just going to repeat yesterday. So if you're not programming yourself for more and more good to come into your life, for you to be a vessel of more and more good, to improve your own life and the lives of those around you, then you just get on autopilot, right? So we want to resurrect beyond the old, insist on bliss, not just, like I said, not just think about a little bit of good, but insist. That's what we're doing when we do a spiritual mind treatment. We are placing a demand on the spiritual laws that govern the universe that already say yes. We are placing a demand on law. My teacher always said, place a demand on law and trust the spiritual laws that govern the universe to respond affirmatively. Insist. Insist. Don't take no for an answer in your own life, right? Don't take no from yourself, because we can talk ourselves out of some good. We can. But what if, like I talked about last week, what if you just held true to the end result that you really want, and you gave your attention, your imagination, your feeling, your faith to that for your own life, for your family, for your community, for your country, for your world? What if we insisted on bliss, if we insisted on an over-the-top kind of day like that kid at Easter? What if we realized that we are given the opportunity to practice our divinity in every moment. And part of that practicing our divinity is to continually bring our mental pathways in the right direction, continually make a mental path. Just take one step and then repeat. Make a mental path, one step, repeat. Then it becomes a belief, and a belief attracts an experience, and experience becomes our life. And our life affects other lives, and on and on and on it goes. Resurrect your soul. Wake up and behold. I love that chant. Resurrect your soul. Wake up and behold. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Resurrect your soul. Let the truth of your divinity, let the truth unfold. Open your eyes and see that you are your destiny. You are your destiny. Practice the presence of God. I practice the presence of God in me. Say that with me. I practice the presence of God in me. I practice the presence of God in me. I am here to express joy, peace, and love. And so it is.
One step. Time religion is a box I do not fit in. I am metaphysical. I am transcendent. Change a situation by changing your mind. Raise the vibration by knowing you are divine. Make a mental path, one step. Repeat. I surrender to the presence of God in me. Make a mental path, one step. Repeat. I am practicing the presence of the goddess in me. Oh. When you stand in opposition, you perpetuate the thing. What you resist, persist, so la la, what you bring. Make a mental path, one step, repeat. I surrender to the presence of God in me. Make a mental path, one step, repeat. I am practicing the presence of the goddess. Oh, make a mental path, one step, just do. Surrender to the presence of the God in you. Make a mental path, one step, just do. Practicing the presence of the goddess in you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Whoa, da, 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 da. Whoa, whoa. Follow your intuition and the passion that you got. Be pulled by your vision, don't get pushed by your thoughts. Everything experienced is energetic. Be aware of energy you give and you get it out of the routine. Slip into observer state. Change your mind by changing habits. Choose a different way. Say oh yes to your highest and your best. Cause what you desire, you can straight up manifest. That's right. I make a mental path, one step, repeat. I surrender to the presence of God in me. Make a mental path, one step, repeat. I'm practicing the presence of the oh yeah. Make a mental path, one step, just do. Surrender to the presence of the God in you. Make a mental path, one step, just do. Practicing the presence of the goddess. One step. Do not be afraid. Only takes one. One step. One step. I love you.
Kids, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are. Divine love, moving through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. All right, y'all, since it's been an Amy Steinberg kind of morning, let's do one of our favorite offering songs by Amy Steinberg. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. You are being blessed by. I am being blessed by. We are being blessed by the Spirit of love. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance to live in abundance. Live in abundance. Thank you so much, Amy Steinberg, for blessing us with such amazing music to keep us in the direction of living in abundance, in the direction of being connected and remembering the truth of who we are. We appreciate you and we love you. And to each and every one of you giving a financial gift this morning, I want to say on behalf of the board, on behalf of our membership at Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, we appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you, and we're so grateful that God shows up and shows off as each of you. So let's just remember again to use this as an opportunity to remind ourselves that of this. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. You are being blessed by. I am being blessed by. We are being blessed by the Spirit of love. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance to live in abundance. Live in abundance. So grateful for the abundance in my life. So grateful. Thank you, God, for Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, for each and every member and friend joining us in beloved community. Thank you, God, for each and every offering and donation given this morning, each and every tithe. We're so grateful for all the ways that the giving just continues, this dance of reciprocity with the universe. We know for each giver, they are also a receiver, and it returns, pressed down to overflowing. I'm so grateful. Thank you, God. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Thank you, God, for the good. And thank you all for being with us on this fine Easter morning. And I know we had it in the announcements, but I'm just so excited to reiterate that we will be getting together in person for a second service. Our online 11 a.m. service is going to stay the same, but we will also add in an in-person service on the 25th of this month at McGill Rose Garden in Noda. And more information on the location and all that's on the website or on Facebook, but it is going to be at 10 a.m. so that we can keep the live stream at 11 the same. But join us as you're able and as you feel comfortable to do so. And now I just invite you to join us for our closing song, and have a fantastic rest of your Easter Sunday. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy, let that bliss, we let the joy wash over us. We bless you, and we thank you. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.